paying attention. The people were talking and all over top of her, the patrons of the restaurant, and I thought, wow, it's just a shame that nobody's enjoying these beautiful lyrics in this amazing song. And I said to my son, I can't believe she's getting paid to do this. And he said, do it, Mom. Just do it. You could do that. You know, I don't know if you have children, but
that's why I'm so short. I used to be 6'4", Renee, okay? They've whittled me down to 5'10", okay?
I never heard that. I never heard that before, Paul. Oh my goodness. That paints quite the image, I tell you. They wore you down, yes. So that's exactly what happened in the restaurant. He wore me down. He's very convincing. And he says, you can do that, Mom. So we went home and talked about it as a family. And we had a friend who had his own quintet. I called him that same day. All this happened in one day. And asked him, hey, can I sing with your quintet sometimes? And he says, sure. You know, we play for tips at the Marriott, but yeah, come on down and we'll split the tips 6 ways instead of 5. So that's how I got going. You know, and I had asked my husband if it was okay. And he says, well, yeah, that'd be a nice little hobby for you. And I said, thank you. And I went on and got started that way.
But when you were... you got married very young, at 18.
Yes, 18, right.
Did you have any formal training at all?
No.
Was your family, your mother and father, musically inclined? Did they listen to music? I mean, you got
yes.
some kind of background for this?
My mother was her father was an itinerant preacher, and he had 6 daughters. My mother was the oldest. And all 6 of them sang and went with him and his wife, too, of course, my grandparents. And they traveled, so there was music there. There wasn't any formal training with me, with my mom, or with my dad. But my dad played music all the time in the house, everything from opera to country and western to bluegrass to calypso and Burl Ives and Mitch Miller and his gang. And, you know, all that harmony and all these different types of music that the children grew up hearing, you know, we just kind of embodied all of that, and we still listen to all these different styles of music today.
So that eclectic mix influenced you ultimately
Definitely.
in your repertoire and everything you do?
Yes, because it's just... I kind of went into jazz, like the jazz field, by default, because that was what my son heard, and he says, you can do that. And I was like, yeah, I could do that. I sing it at home. And we knew somebody who had a jazz group. If it had been pop music, it probably would have gone in that direction, you know. Although, I have to say, getting started singing pop when you're in your 40s probably wouldn't have worked out the same as doing it with the jazz. So I was probably lucky that way, in that it was jazz that was my entryway into the music field.
You are also known and billed as a composer as well as a singer. And you've done many compositions. Do you write the music and the lyrics, or just the lyric to a tune? How do you do that?
I write the music and the lyrics, and I think there's only been one song that I wrote lyrics to, but the melody was already there. But every other song, yes, I write the lyrics and the music. But for fun, sometimes, you know, I'll take a melody that already has lyrics and change the lyrics around. Like there's this little tune I wrote instead of L-O-V-E, you know that song? L is for the, it's V-O-T-E. V is for the vote you're going to cast. O is for the only thing I ask, etc., etc.
Very, 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 very good, yeah. I also read that you include a lot of your original material when you do a show, or you
Yes.
have been known to do that. And a certain club owner, whose name is Joe,
May he rest in peace.
you,
He just recently passed away, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Could you reveal what club that was or where it was?
What is the name of that club?
What city is it in?
Chicago. In Chicago.
Oh, you mean yes, I know exactly who you mean. It's a long-standing
Yes.
group there. In the Black Hawk Hotel, I believe, or something. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of the last name.
Oh, this is a shame that I can't. But blame it on my gray hair, please.
Yeah, what's your name again?
I forgot. Don't tell anybody.
But let me just lead to the story, and then you
Okay.
can say how you did it. He, as a club owner, and I've been involved with this music for over 50 years in some form or another, know that there are certain people who are really into this music, and there are certain people who think they're really into this music. But what they really want to hear is Melancholy Baby and Embraceable You and My One and Only Love, which is not terrible. And when a performer inserts a lot of originals, we'll call them originals, whether they're written by you or somebody else, the comfort zone for those people is not as comfortable.
Right.
So as a club owner, he's looking to put butts in the seats. I mean, that's what he's going to do. So he said to you, what?
He said to me, the songs that you are singing are turning my stomach, and you are an embarrassment to the jazz community. No one wants to hear your original tunes, and you're moving around too much on the stage. You need to stand still and sing the standards the way they're supposed to be sung. And you look at these pictures of these singers on the wall here, and he's pointing to this photographs of very well-known jazz vocalists. And he says, how do you think they got where they were? They did it not by singing their own songs, but singing the standards. So he made his point. I don't think I had any questions after he finished. But what I love about this story, at the time it was happening, Paul, it was devastating to me. Nobody who writes or paints or, creates wants to hear someone say, that's turning my stomach. It's terrible. You need to stop. Nobody wants to hear that. So what Joe's words to me were a gift, because usually if a club owner doesn't like the music that you're doing, they just don't hire you back. They won't tell you why. And he was honest with me, which eventually I came to appreciate. And also, I came to appreciate that I'm the type of person who needs someone to stand in my way and tell me, you either do this or that. And that's what Joe actually did for me, because I had been kind of waffling about writing my own stuff. I don't know whether to put it on the set list, I would say to myself. And maybe it's not good enough. And he kind of was like, look, you either do this or you get out. And when I went back to the hotel room and that night and the following day, wondering what I should do, it became very clear to me. This is the path I need to follow. And not only do I need to write original music, I need to write more of it, because I have a certain perspective and a voice that seems to resonate with some people in the audience, and so I'm going to keep doing it. And I am grateful to Joe for coming at me like that and having me make up my mind. It's happened to me before, throughout my life, but I didn't appreciate it at the time. It seemed like, they're being hateful and mean. But later on, you go, wow, if they hadn't said that, I probably wouldn't have done this. So
did that alter your repertoire?
Did it alter it?
The next...
Oh, yes.
So how did you incorporate your originals, which you love and spend a lot of time creating, along with those things that are more familiar with for people? How did you do it?
Well, I used to, when I first started adding more and more of my originals to my set list, I used to kind of almost apologize to the audience, like, oh, well, I hope you will indulge us for doing such and such a song now and getting ready. I wrote it because, and then I tell this big story behind it, like I have to give a reason, some justification for now putting it in this jazz set list. But gradually, people started requesting my original songs. And I'll never forget the first time somebody suggested it, they said, play I Like You. And I said, what? You want to hear that? I mean, that's what just came out of me. And they said, yeah, they laughed. They thought I was cracking a joke, but I was really surprised. And then it dawned on me, Renee, go ahead and put them in the set list. It's going to be okay. And so now I'll fill out my set list and not realize it until we're almost through, during the performance, and I'll go, oh, gee, these were all original songs of mine. And I might say that to the audience, I'm sorry. We filled the whole set. I'm joking at this point because I'm not really sorry, but oh, I didn't realize we had done this. Thank you all. I hope you like the music, and most of the time, the majority do. So
That encounter with Joe, led you to create another tune on his behalf, and it's called
This Is for Joe.
All nice and sweet. Yes, I know what swing is, but for me the thing is incomplete. And I mean it, I won't compete. Please don't compare me to Ella or Sarah. Magnolias won't stay in this hair. Cause that was then, this is now, and I'm right here. But there's somewhere up there. So please don't compare. The songs that I write is an uphill battle. Just come on and give me a fight. Set my cage to rattle. I could debate this all night, but I ain't gonna prattle on and on and on and on. Boom, 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 beep, boom, 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 beep, boom, 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 beep, boom, boom. Day,